enjoy being crushed by it.
So another Alarak game, I guess. I personally really like him, but I think a lot of people, especially in bronze and silver, are kind of intimidated by I don't know, the way that he plays. And I am here to tell you that I was one of those people at first too. But I think you need very little practice before you see like good results with Alarak. And I think first games are a bit frustrating because you can't feel the impact that you might be doing. Basically, most likely because you're going to be missing a lot of the abilities, and they are very like skill-based abilities, right? Like for example here, if I would hit my Q correctly, then yeah, he would be probably dead by now. Well, he still seems to be dead, yeah. But definitely you have to hit your skill shots with him. But it's easier than it looks. So let's go over over his abilities first, right? So Q is the easiest ability to understand, obviously. You Q in a cone, and then whoever you hit is silenced and obviously damaged by quite a lot. So the trick with Q that I've learned for myself is to anticipate movement, right? So I used to just Q where the hero is at the time that I'm queuing, but Q has a short delay. So basically now what I'm doing, I'm queuing usually to where they will try to run, because if I'm going to pull them closer to me, they'll try to go back, and it's easy when we're on the same horizontal line, but if they're like a little bit above or below their tower, then usually I take that into account. So I'll try to queue to where they will try to run. And obviously Q works better the closer you are to the hero, so you are in essence very melee heavy hero, so don't forget it. Like, don't play him as a ranged assassin. I mean, you kind of can a little bit with E, stacking the E, but that's not how I would suggest playing him, especially not in bronze and silver. So that's the Q. W moves any enemy heroes that it hits, but it can also move you. So what's important to understand there is that it's both offensive and defensive ability. Basically, you can either pull them towards you, or you can push them away from you. And another option is to push yourself towards them, or to pull yourself away from them. And usually you wouldn't push yourself towards them. Usually there's no sense of doing that. It makes more sense to just pull them towards you, but sometimes pulling you away from them instead of pushing them away from you can make sense. Just usually depends on where your team is at that particular moment. Yeah, so as you can see, we're having a really fun game here. We don't have a healer because, well, nobody wanted to take one, which I honestly, bronze and silver, don't need a healer unless you're like really confident with your healer or tank. Just don't take it. I mean, people who take healer and then play badly, they do more harm than if they would play badly on a auto attacker. That's my opinion. So lastly, the E ability. So that's your sustain kind of healing ability in a sense, and it doesn't damage or damages the least your primary target. So for example, if you target E on like how I did here on Stitches, then the damage that he'll get, I don't remember exactly, but it's not a lot. Like it's probably half of what any hero or enemy gets that's caught in the middle of your E. So when playing, what I try to remember is just to E behind the tank, or E behind the bruiser, whoever is in front of me. It's easier said than done, but I feel that once you kind of get used to the feeling of where to aim, like not trying to aim just in front of you and kind of trying to align yourself and like your target, like secondary target between you and the primary. I mean, that's kind of gets the best results. So once you kind of get used to those abilities, I think the easiest gameplay is to try and I wouldn't say stack on tanks. Like, yes, you damage tanks well, just like any other DPS hero, but that's not, you're not like a tank healer. You don't have percent damage. It's not gonna be your strength. Your strength is usually just kind of as if you're a Garrosh. You are making their team constantly move away from you because they know that you're going to pull them, or at least able to pull them, and then silence them. That's really strong against heroes who need their escape ability immediately after they're getting focused, right? So it could be Tracer, it could be any of the mages. That's the easiest way to play him, I feel, is just to ignore the tank and just try to find a way to get one of the squishier heroes towards your team. Now, you could use a talent for that. There is a talent that makes you... Yeah, that was a very unfortunate positioning on my part. Yeah, I'm kinda... I knew I'm dead here, but I was trying to be as annoying as possible. Yeah, my team has some good plays. I like that they didn't give up or flamed when we didn't have a healer. Like, everyone was like, yeah, let's just try it. And obviously they have pretty good grasp on their hero, which is, I think, more important than trying to make the correct composition with a mage, an auto-attacker, bruiser, whatever, a healer, tank. Just pointless when you're in lazy low. Yeah, I mean, minute 8, we have 1 fort down, all of our forts intact. I would say we're doing really well, and we're a level up, well, almost a full level up. Yeah, so in terms of talents, you can play him as a pure auto-attacker, so that means like trying to take all the Q talents mostly. That's what you would do if you know that you're not going to be blinded as much, and that there's no too many stuns and you can auto-attack safely quite a lot. You can try E-build if you feel like they will be very front heavy, like there's a lot of bruisers, a lot of HP heroes, and maybe a lot of stuns, like you know you wouldn't be doing as much in a team fight, like you would be neutralized too long, right? So E gives you an ability and gives you an option to do a lot of burst. It does mean that you would have to be more smart about like your E, so you would have to really hit well on the like primary and secondary targets, so that you're actually doing damage. Otherwise, the same problem. Another way you can play him is kind of this utility hero, so you can improve his cooldown on his W, on how often you can pull and push. When you're above 85% health, that will give you a lot of ways to like move their team, right? So either to push them away or pull them to you. So that means that you're not strictly focusing on your damage, but you're being a tool or a utility for the team, trying to do the... Oh, I should have art here way earlier. That was such a big mistake on my part. I could have lived so much more, and obviously damage more. Yeah, that was really bad on my part. So yeah, at 13, if you're bronze or silver, always take the green talent, where you get 10% sadism each time you one of your allies dies near you. And that's like, because your allies, if you're better than rest of your team usually, your allies are gonna die, and this is the easiest way to gain back sadism when your team is losing. So it's kind of a, your team is losing more, so your teammates die more, so you get more sadism, so you get a better chance of a comeback. And honestly, it's really easy to come back in those like bronze, silver. You only need one good fight at the level 20, and then you just end because of how badly the other team know to leverage their temporary momentum. It's kind of a messy fight here. I'm trying to not stand too close to them. I mean, your problem, as any other damage dealer, is that you're squishy, relatively, right? So if they have a lot of crowd control, a lot of stuns, a lot of ways to get to you, yeah, it's gonna be difficult. But I feel still more survivable than Zul'jin, for example. And definitely the way that you can manipulate the throw here into my R was really strong. I did so much damage. And don't forget that your E is on a very short cooldown, so kind of try and use it often in fights, because it's really... The more heroes you hit, it has a very strong burst of healing each time.
I expect no less than total.
I think we made a correct decision here not to try and force score. We are 4 levels up here, and maybe we could have, but I think just given the heroes that we have and the way that they can defend with Jaina, we probably wouldn't have succeeded. I mean, maybe like better players, better leagues, that would be possible, but here, yeah, you see the way that he's pinching them now into my Q, and if we tries to run, yeah, I should have moved him, but I forgot. Yeah, now everyone left him for some reason. Yeah. There's so much healing here, which is nice. Yeah, that's a good throw on his part again. Trying to get some more HP with E. On 20 you have a lot of options. Usually the best option, kind of all around, is just to take your second ulti, which is kind of very unique thing in Heroes of the Storm. Usually you have a choice at 10 of one of 2 ulti, but Alarak can get the second one that he didn't choose. He can get it at his 20. So usually I think you should take that. Sometimes maybe if you feel really confident and you want to try out different things, you can take the last laugh, which lets you basically blink away with 0 HP, and yeah, that's an option. Sometimes it helps if they have like poison, that's useless, but I don't know. Can be something that's worth trying. Other ones, well, I mean, you can play around with them, but the easiest is just to go to ultis. The reason I'm not taking it here is because if I dive into their team, I feel I'd be dead way sooner. So it kind of feels grief to do that, but yeah. Maybe I should have, who knows, maybe it would be... If the enemy team would be better, it may be that, yeah, I would make the incorrect choice. So yeah, here I'm trying to make sure that they don't close on us from any other angle. Positioning is very important with Alarak, so if your positioning is still not great, I mean, that's the main problem that Alarak would have. I think you should only take him after you kind of understand positioning in the game, which is, I mean, more difficult than anything else in true bronze and silver. Like, you're not expected to know that much about like good positioning and stuff. So I think that might be like one of the reasons why people play Alarak and then they get just decimated and get frustrated from that and just move on. But yeah, I think it's not super difficult, but yeah, once you master positioning, Alarak can be an easy and fun hero to practice. This was probably an easier game than any other, but it was a lot of fun. Hope you liked it as well.